There are 5 key steps that needs to be accomplished by the E-2 investor. The first step is the applicant needs to gather the qualifying investment funds. It must be funds that they can prove with detailed documentation that they acquire from lawful sources and that they hold the money in their possession. So evaluating the qualifying fund source and conducting the financial due diligence is step number 1. Because even if the business is great, if the immigration officer doesn't like the fund source, they could deny the E-2 visa for that reason alone. That's why this is important and should be done early. Step number 2 is you have to create a U.S. entity. Whether you're starting a new business or you're doing an asset purchase of an existing business, you have to create a U.S. entity. It could be an LLC, it could be a corporation. So you got to form your entity. You got to get the company tax ID called EIN, because without that, you can't open a business account. Then you got to open a business account so that you can deposit investment capital into your U.S. business account from which you're going to spend the money to establish business or acquire a business. Third step, you want to search for a qualifying business to purchase. So that's going to require understanding what is a qualifying business, job creation, financial performance, profitability, financial stability. Understand the criteria for a strong existing business, and on that basis, search. And of course, you're going to need to have a seller that is E-2 friendly, meaning a seller that understands you're a foreign national and your purchase is going to be a little bit different. It may be contingent on visa approval, and we're going to need a seller that has the patience and the willingness to support you to wait out the E-2 visa process. So that's step number 3. And of course, if you're starting a new business, then the third step is establishing that business. Once you have investment capital in your business account, you got to deploy that money, utilize that money to rent the business premises, build it out, buy equipment, supplies. Immigration expects the business to be fully established to the point of active operation, or at the very minimum, ready to open. So everything necessary to get the business to that point has to be done, including getting the business licenses necessary to legally operate. So that's the third step. Fourth step is finalizing your business purchase transaction, get it close to closing if it's contingent on visa approval, or close the business purchase if it's not contingent on visa approval. And if it's a startup, what I mentioned earlier, get to spend your investment capital to fully establish the business to the point of becoming an active real business. So that's step number 4. Get the business to the point of being eligible for the E-2 visa. And the last step is the application for the E-2 investor visa. Typically with the U.S. Embassy in an applicant's home country, if the applicant is living in the U.S. on a different visa, it's possible to apply for a change of visa status inside the United States. And if applying with the embassy, the applicant will have to attend a visa interview at the U.S. consular office in country of residence. And that's the 5th step. For more information on the E-2 investor visa program, please feel free to visit my website, e2visalawyer.net. I have a ton of free information in blogs, videos, ebook, FAQs, all for free to help you understand the E-2 investor visa program.